Welcome to the Foolproof FSBO podcast. I'm Tim the FSBO guy, and this is the show that helps homeowners sell their homes without paying that $31,000 agent tax. Hey, every week I'm going to share real strategies, simple tools, and proven checklists that make selling your home yourself safe, fast, and profitable. So if you're ready to keep your equity and stay in control of your sale, you're in the right place. Let's go ahead and dive in. Houses are harder than ever to sell these days, and they have been in a very long time. And lots of people out there want to blame the market or interest rates. And yeah, those are definitely contributing factors. But 9 times out of 10, the single biggest problem is, well, your house just isn't ready for prime time. But the good news is that most of these problems are not only fixable, they can be accomplished in a single productive weekend. It's just nobody's told you what to fix until now. So we're going to start at number 10 and work our way all the way down to the number 1 deal killer. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because number 1 is going to make you want to drag a brutally honest friend through your home with a notebook and an attitude. Let's dive in. So number 10, we're going to talk about dated or heavy window treatments. You see, when buyers walk in and they see those dark drapes from when dial-up internet was cutting edge, they mentally move your house to the Stone Age. Natural light is one of the most important things that buyers look for. So dark rooms, they feel smaller and cheaper and definitely uninviting. Here's what many sellers tell themselves. Well, these drapes came with the house 20 years ago. I think they're fine. They're not fine. They're dated, they're dusty, and they're killing any hope of joy in that room. Remove them entirely if the view is good and privacy isn't an issue. If you need coverage, just replace these things with light, neutral, modern treatments like sheer panels or clean blinds. There's just buckets of research out there that shows that window treatments are an underused resource in staging, and this is a very easy box to check. So go ahead and do it. Number 9. This is decor that's really taste specific or maybe even controversial. And I'm sorry to say this, but your style, it's not universal. So that life-size cardboard cutout of politicians, or a tastefully ironic velvet Elvis painting, or I don't know, a live, love, laugh shrine that looks like a Pinterest board just threw up and exploded at the same time, or any poster that makes half your potential buyers uncomfortable before they even see the kitchen. These things have to go. People in buying mode, they tend to fixate on what they dislike before considering what they could love about a house. So polarizing decor is going to divide your buyer pool in half instantly. Now, a lot of you are going to tell me, hey, this is who I am, deal with it. Well, great. Pack up who you are and show them a house that they can make their own. And then in the meantime, you can thank me. I mean, is your goal here to convert the non-believers, or is it to sell your home? Now, if it's to sell your home, then you just need to remove it all. Staging your home for sale is all about broadening the appeal and not showcasing your personality, which takes us to number 8. These are personal photos and mementos. Your memories are a distraction to buyers. So family photos that are just plastering the walls, or personal collections, trophies, diplomas, travel souvenirs arranged on shelves, whatever. Listen, all of that is super cool, but you're forgetting something here. Buyers can't visualize their life in your home if you don't give them the mental room to do so. They need a blank canvas where they can imagine their future life, not a museum dedicated to your past, okay? Now, some people tell me that they believe that a few photos here and there make it homey. No, they make it personal. And personal is the enemy of creating a welcoming environment for a buyer to paint their own lives, okay? And if you don't believe me, listen to the data nerds. The NAR staging data shows that depersonalized homes sell 17% higher and 73% faster than homes that are filled with personal items. So when buyers can't fall in love with the eating kitchen because they're getting hammered in the face with your kid's finger painting, all that's happening is you're giving them a reminder that they're standing in somebody else's home. And sadly, that is going to break the spell. Now, for number 7, we're going to address some of the outdated paint or wall colors, okay? That Barney the Dinosaur purple accent wall that your kids loved, that's a problem. Bold colors or dated trends like sponge painting or chair rails or scuffed and dirty walls. I just want you to know that buyers are going to fixate on those things, and they can't see past it. So instead of imagining their furniture in the space, they're calculating repainting costs, and they're adding that to the cost of the home. And if you believe that it's just paint, hey, they can change it, no big deal, well, sure. But now they're thinking about work instead of thinking about falling in love with your home. So if you want to play matchmaker between your home and a buyer, you need to think in more neutral tones. Grays, white, grays, I mean, hire someone to throw a fresh coat on every wall, patch all the nail holes, and wipe down the baseboards and trim. You need to make it look move-in ready. And I know, yes, it's going to cost you money. Listen, I've got 4 athlete daughters, and I have to feed all of them, so don't tell me about spending money. And besides, the NAR staging data shows that even a $1,500 paint job can return up to $10,000 in the increased sale price. So that's why they say paint is one of the single highest ROI fixes that you can make. So don't be stepping over $1 to pick up a penny here, is all I'm trying to say. Number 6, we're going to talk about excessive furniture and clutter. Now, the best way to shrink all of your rooms by 30% is pretty much just to have crap everywhere. Seriously, go ahead. Stuff in too many pieces of furniture or obstruct your walkways. Just have trinkets covering every shelf and then wonder why buyers can't see the space. See, this sounds obvious, but I see it so often that I have to remind people. Cramped feeling equals a lower perceived value. So these buyers, they're not buying your stuff. They're buying square footage. And if they can't see it, they can't buy it. So maybe you kind of feel like you need all that stuff to live there. I mean, really? You need a 75-unit VHS edition of Baywatch in order to live in that home? Okay, fine, maybe. But let me give you a newsflash. You're not living there anymore. You're selling there. And there is a difference. And if you want to sell fast, you need to remove 30 to 50% of your furniture, clear about 90% of the countertops and other horizontal surfaces, and you want to make sure that buyers can walk through rooms without navigating an obstacle course. Research shows that decluttered homes sell 73% faster than non-staged homes, so hey, you decide. Number 5, we're halfway done, and we're talking about curb appeal. Now, we've heard of love at first sight, but do you think it's possible to have that happen with a home? Well, not with that overgrown landscaping and peeling paint and a cluttered porch with dead plants in the flower beds. All of these things scream neglect. Buyers are going to form their first opinion in about 7 seconds, and they're forming opinions about the entire home and of you based on what they see before they even get out of the car. So if they're going to assume the interior is even worse. And this is actually way more common than you think because homeowners often think that, hey, the interior here is all that matters. Well, that's wrong. Buyers who are turned off at the curb are either going to skip the showing entirely or they're just going to walk in with this giant skeptical chip on their shoulder looking for problems to confirm their bias. But thankfully, the fix here isn't rocket science. You simply power wash everything, like the siding, the driveways, the walkways, trim up the bushes and the trees, and maybe throw some fresh mulch in the beds. Paint the front door is a great thing to do, and remove any junk like broken planters or random stuff piled on the front porch. If you nail the curb appeal question, you're going to find that your buyers are crossing the threshold with optimism instead of doubt. Number 4, dirty carpets and flooring damage. Oh my gosh. I want you to think of every stain as a negotiation tool that buyers are going to beat you over the head with. Pet stains, wear patterns, visible damage, dingy grout. Buyers are going to see all of these things and they're going to come up with 2 big conclusions. Number 1, they're going to think about neglect, and number 2, they're going to think about replacement cost. So a $2,000 carpet job that you could have done becomes a $5,000 negotiation tactic in their head because they assume there's even more damage that they can't see. Now, if you're going to tell me, hey, Tim, we just closed the crappy carpeting and we're going to build the bad condition of the flooring into the price of the home, so it's totally fine. Well, guess what? It's not fine. It's far from fine. In this market, when you're trying to sell your home, being fine is not good enough, or your house would have been sold already. You need to be better. You need to understand that when buyers see a defect, they automatically assume there's more hiding around the corner. So simply disclosing it or building it into the price, it doesn't make these defects invisible. They're still going to see it, and they're still going to judge it, and they're still going to use it as leverage against you. So before hitting the market, you should get a professional steam clean at a minimum. If the stains won't lift, replace the carpet before even listing. Now, for tile, it's really simple. Just regrout or professionally clean. For hardwood, it tends to be a lot more forgiving, so you could typically get away with a really strong deep clean and a polish, but if significant blemishes are still showing, consider getting it refinished. Research shows that buyers cite flooring condition as a major turnoff in feedback, and inspection reports are going to highlight every stain, every crack, giving buyers ammunition for credit requests. Okay, now we're here down to the top 3. At the top of this list is broken or non-functional items. I want you to put your buyer hat on, okay? And I want you to imagine walking into a home and you see broken ceiling fans or a wine fridge with the door hanging off the fridges, loose cabinet handles, cracked tiles, or that switch by the garage that just sits there judging you connected to nothing. Like, teenager listening to Smashing Pumpkins. Just like we talked about so many times before, these little small individual discrepancies that we might think aren't that big of a deal, well, in the grand scheme of things, they all add up to create an opinion of your house that it too is broken and neglected and non-functional. I mean, why are we loading the buyer's guns with ammunitions to negotiate against us with it? It doesn't make sense. We have to stop doing that. So if you're serious about selling your home, you just have to fix everything that's broken. I mean, period, end. If you can't fix it, then remove it entirely and replace it with something that works, all right? All right, number 2, and this is the part of the video where I might have to hurt some of your feelings, but I would much rather be the guy who disappoints you with the truth than comforts you with a lie. Because I have to talk to you about, you and your pets, especially as it relates to you being present during showings. I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid right here, and I'm going to tell you that if you or your pets are an overbearing presence during showings, you are blocking the ability for buyers to imagine themselves in your home. Hovering 3 feet away from them, answering unsolicited questions, or pointing out hidden features brings a really awkward energy, and it kills whatever incredible momentum that you've created by addressing all the other items on this list. And look, I know that you think you're trying to be helpful, and sure, I'm sure that you do have the cutest dog or cat or mongoose or whatever in the hell you have as a pet in the world, but I mean, after all, people would be crazy not to want to meet Mr. Boots, right? But you have to recognize that when buyers come over, they don't want a tour guide. They want to wander, okay? They want to open closets. They want to picture their couch against that wall, and they want to whisper to their spouse about whether they love it or hate it. And the pets, I mean, they kind of make it worse. The buyers are trying to picture Thanksgiving dinner with their family, but old Spike here, who apparently has a bit of Mississippi Leghound in it, is going full Cousin Eddie on your leg while your kid's watching horror. Nobody's imagining holiday memories when they're fending off unwanted advances from a 90-pound Labrador who thinks every visitor is his new best friend. So just let their agent do the job and leave entirely during showings. Take the pets with you, kennels, daycare, a friend's house, whatever. And if you're concerned about, security, about not being there at the house during a showing, then use security cameras. But if you've prepared your house for showings, you shouldn't have valuables laying out in the first place. If you give people the space to fall in love with your home, it will happen. Okay, we've made it. We're all the way down to number 1. This is the number 1 deal killer, and it's not even close. It's odors. Now, I want to introduce you to a concept called olfactory adaptation, or for guys like me that went into the Marines instead of college, nose blindness. It's a fancy way of saying that after you're exposed to a scent for long enough, you stop noticing it. So those pet smells and cigarette smoke, heavy cooking odors, or mustiness and mildew, you don't even realize it's there anymore, but buyers are going to register it the second they walk in. And here's why this gets the number 1 spot over everything else on the list. The sense of smell is the only one with a direct, unfiltered pathway to the brain's limbic system. And that's the area of the brain that governs emotion, like the amygdala, and memory, which is in the hippocampus. So it bypasses the thalamus, which is the usual relay station for all of the other senses like sight, sound, touch, and taste. And what's interesting about this is because of that, research shows that people recall smells with 65% accuracy after an entire year, but only remember 50% of what they see after only 3 months. What all this means is that buyers are probably going to forget your granite countertops. They're probably going to forget your drapes and what color your carpet is, but they are never going to forget what they smelled. So if you're watching your 7 cats use your kitchen floor as their personal toilet, and you think, well, hey, we keep it clean after they're done, it's not that bad. Let me tell you, from a position of love and wanting to see you succeed, it is that bad, all right? You just can't smell it anymore because your nose has been lying to you. But I won't. And in case you're wondering, masking this odor with air fresheners is going to make it worse because now buyers know that you're trying to hide something. So the cure here is to massively deep clean everything. Use enzyme cleaners that break down pet odor molecules at the source. Air out your home for days, and I mean days before showing. So hopefully there's good weather. If you smoke inside, first off, freaking stop. Second, you should consider repainting the walls and replacing soft surfaces like drapes, carpets, rugs, etc. with new stuff. If pets are the source of the odor, then at the very minimum, you need to remove the litter box and take animals elsewhere during showings. Now, here's a quick pro pro tip that I use in my short-term rentals, anytime somebody brings a service animal, I have an ozone machine that I run, and it does a great job of deodorizing the home. So go on Amazon, pick up an ozone machine, and let it run for several days in affected rooms of your house. Now, just make sure you're not running the ozone machine while you're home or in close proximity, because that ionized air that it puts out, it can be a bit of a lung irritant. But if you're going away for a long weekend, perhaps, I would let that sucker run full blast the whole time. And when you come home, it's not going to smell like an air freshener or anything else. It's just going to smell clean. Now, all of these 10 things are great to know, and I'm glad we talked about them. And there's probably even more if you dig in further. But all of this effort is going to amount to absolutely nothing if you screw up the pricing of your home. And that's why in this video right here, I take you through the entire process, and I help you avoid the scams out there that are going to cause you to leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table if you choose the wrong path. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for listening to the Foolproof FSBO podcast. For free tools and step-by-step guides to sell your home with confidence, head on over to foolprooffsbo.com/podcast. That's foolprooffsbo.com/podcast. And we'll see you next week.